Hello and welcome to a special Devil's Advocate from Guwahati and an interview with the Chief Minister of Assam, Tarun Gogoi. Chief Minister, let's start with the recent troubles in your state. Why is Assam so prone to ethnic and communal violence? Is this its demography? Is it the geography? Is it politics? Or is it just lack of economic development?
Of course, it is true. Assam is prone to all these clashes also. I have seen since 1960s, 72, 83, all along. And of course, it is a complex state. Of course, reason, of course, socio-economics, sometimes politics also, and economics may be one of the reasons.
You're suggesting it's multiple reasons.
Yeah.
The BJP, however, says, and many of your opposition leaders in the state say, that the real reason is unrestrained illegal immigration from Bangladesh. You strongly and vehemently deny that.
Yeah.
In which case, how do you account for the fact that between 1991 and 2001, the two censuses for which we have accurate data, the Muslim population of districts like Kokrajhar, Dhubri, Bongaigaon, Barbeta, Nalbari have phenomenally increased?
You are absolutely right. Muslim population has increased. But if you look to 2001 census, the population growth of Assam is less than national average, almost 3%. Then in 2011 also, that provision also, it is also, as a growth of the population of Assam also, less than national average. So it's a clear indication that migration, illegal migration has on decline.
Well, has it? Because Assam may have grown at a lower rate than the nation as a whole, but within Assam, the Muslim population in these districts has grown much faster than the Hindu one. Let me quote some of the figures. Kokrajhar, 19% Muslim increase, 5% Hindu. Dhubri, 29% Muslim increase, 5% Hindu. Bongaigaon, 31% Muslim increase, 2% Hindu. Clearly, this phenomenal Muslim increase can't be for natural reasons. It has to be because of immigration.
Yes, it is because of low literacy, illiteracy. Illiteracy is even Muslim, most of the Muslims, they are most illiterate. Every family is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The illiteracy is very low. It is because of illiteracy. Yes, there has been also.
You seriously are saying that Muslims, because they are illiterate, are creating more children than Hindus?
Yeah.
You really mean that?
Yes, because of illiteracy. You see, because of the illiteracy, you see, for example, empowerment of women also one of the reasons for check the birth control or whatever out there, less what you call birth of the children. You see here because
this is a very controversial answer, Chief Minister. People would say this is tantamount to saying that the illiterate breed more.
Yes, I 100% I believe. Literacy, for example, why the population is even Kerala also I have seen the Muslim population growth is higher. Assam is highest, second highest is West Bengal, second highest is...
And in every case you're saying illiteracy is the explanation, not, as I'm suggesting, illegal immigration from Bangladesh.
No. Immigration has been there. Same case in the tea garden, here also tribes. The birth is higher if you compare to the Assamese people.
Let me quote to you what Hagarama Mohilari, the head of the Bodo Territorial Council, has just said. He says there are over 2 lakh illegal Bangladeshi immigrants in Bodo districts. Do you question that?
I do question. There are no 2 lakhs I can challenge.
What is your estimate for illegal Bangladeshi immigrants?
I'll tell you, even till today, in the pending cases about less than 3 lakhs. Pending case in all the tribunals, and anybody can register case also. And till today, since I will tell you, AGP came into power, as you know, you see, total case registered about 4,50,000 or something. Total case. Out of them, many have been disposed of also.
So then, what is the figure that you believe is the correct figure for illegal Bangladeshi immigrants?
It is very difficult, but as it is today, it is a pending case in the tribunal. But among them also, all are also not what.
So you're absolutely certain that Mr. Mohilari's figure of 2 lakhs for the Bodo districts alone is wrong?
No, he had never said.
He said it clearly. He said it to the Indian Express on the 6th of August.
No, he might have told. You see, I tell you, he told that in the camps there are 5 lakh or something. He, according to me, Then he says, how could it be 5 lakhs? Here the population was...
Let's not get caught in the figure. The figure may be disputable.
Disputed.
The point I'm making is this. You strongly and vehemently continue to dispute that illegal Muslim immigration from Bangladesh is a fundamental cause of the troubles that we've just seen in Assam.
Yes.
You dispute that?
I don't dispute it. It is a fact.
It's a fact that...
No, it's not a fact that illegal...
It's a fact that it wasn't a problem.
Yes.
All right? I'll accept that, but I'll
Yeah.
point out to you one
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
that there are many in India who believe that the key problem in Assam is basically illegal immigration. You're saying that is a wrong understanding of the
You
state.
see, outside Assam, even inside Assam, there's a wrong perception of Assam. As there's a wrong perception of Assam, Assam is not a safe place. It is full of insurgency.
This is another wrong perception.
perception. This is another wrong perception.
All right, let's come then to what analysts say is the second explanation for the troubles that you have in Assam. They say it's the very character of Bodoland itself, an area where the Bodos, because they're the single largest community, have power, but all the non-Bodos, including the Muslims, are probably greater in number, and they feel unrepresented, they feel left out. And that is a fundamental cause of the bitterness that keeps erupting in violence since the creation of Bodoland.
Before that also there were clashes.
But Bodoland has made it worse because the power has gone to one group, the rest feel disenfranchised.
Here earlier, when there was no power, that was worst. Before 96, 97, that time also...
But I put it to you that Bodos represent something like 20% of the population of the Bodo Territorial Administrative Area. They comprise 30 out of 46 seats on the BTC, which is 65%. 20% population, 65% seats.
You see, there is a case in the 6th schedule. There is about 35%. It is true. The Bodus are minority. Bodus are minority in the Bodoland Territorial Council. Is this almost the same thing in other...
As a result of which the rest of the population feels left out. They feel almost disenfranchised. That is why you have this bitterness which keeps erupting periodically.
BTC, they have, yes, there is reservation. But for MLA, there is no reservation.
But in
For MLA...
But BTC has local control. Let me quote to you what the president of the All Assam Minority Student Union, Abdul Rahim Ahmed, has said. He says the Bodos engineered the recent trouble. They wanted to push the Muslims out of Bodoland because then they could push their own numbers to 50% and demand a separate state.
No, they have been demanding separate state. But to this group, they entered into an agreement agreeing to have a 6th schedule. This present...
That was in 2003. But since then, they are now, it is alleged, trying to push Muslims out so that they can push their numbers up and claim a separate state.
I'll tell you how the incident took place. Just 19, the one Muslim was, and one Bodo fellow has, of course, one Muslim injured or sustained injury by. Second day, 4 Bodos were killed by the Muslims.
Quite right.
These are miscreants. I don't say that. Then how could you say? This is how it triggered up.
Chief Minister, we're collapsing from the causes of the problem to how this specific instance happened. And actually, when it comes to this specific instance, people turn around and say that one of the problems was that you mishandled it. They say that you sided with the Bodos, who are your allies in government, as a result of which you were A, slow to respond, and B, when you did respond, you didn't respond decisively.
No, I tell you, this is a wrong perception. Bodus are also accusing me, you are soft to the Muslims because you are looking for their votes. He says, why did you not arrest these people who were responsible for killing the 4 Bodus on the very first day, 19? Then Muslim also, I tell you.
Can I interrupt and tell you why people say you were slow? Because actually the first warnings of trouble happened well before the 19th of July, well before even the 6th of July. No. They go back to May and June when you had clashes over Eidgahs. There were attacks on Muslims and Muslim property at the time. And your critics say that instead of heeding those warnings 6 to 8 weeks earlier, you ignored them, you didn't take preventive steps.
No, as incidents do take places everywhere, not only the Bodoland. You see in the Karbi Along, North Kachar Hill, other area also. Such minor incidents do take place. Then the 6th July also, it was not by the Bodus, it was by KLO.
But all of these incidents...
You see, only the 1920 was the... Yes.
But Chief Minister, all these incidents that were happening should have been a sign to you that there was trouble beginning. Surely it was a warning to take preventive action,
see,
and you didn't.
That way, whole Assam is, everywhere the warning is there.
And people say the reason you didn't take preventive steps is because the Bodos are your allies, it's their support that is essential for you, and therefore you said, let me not take action, it will go against that
He's
interest.
absolutely wrong. It's a false propaganda. I don't depend him. I don't depend them. I have got 78 members out of 126.
At the moment, but in
And
your
I
second
don't-
administration you depended on them, and the Bodos are still part of your government. Even
But
though you don't depend on them.
I can, you see, the part of the government, of course, but I need their support. Then also, why did I arrest their Bodo MLAs?
But you may have arrested one single Bodo MLA, but look at what is happening to the 250,000 refugees still in camps, the vast majority of whom are Muslim. The Bodos are creating obstruction in letting them go back to their villages. They are now being asked to prove they're Indian citizens, fill up forms to show where they got their land from. That's not only indefensible, it's a clear attempt to prevent the Muslims go back. And once again, your government isn't preventing the Bodos from doing this.
No, we'll prevent it also. You see, we have already decided those who are displaced, or Indian citizens, must be. Those who are genuine Indian citizens displaced from the Bodo land will be rehabilitated.
Just an interesting distinction you make, because a moment ago when we began this interview, you said that illegal immigration from Bangladesh wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Now, you're asking people to prove their citizenship. Why? Because they're all Indians. Why do they prove it? Because if there's no illegal immigration...
It is easy. If the voter list there, name is there. And for rehabilitation also. You see, for rehabilitation also, they have to give some proof. Otherwise, how could you rehabilitate them? Supposing he must have a house, or he must have paddy field where he destroyed. He must have a house whose house has been...
But Chief Minister,
so that is
these are people who had their villages burnt, their houses destroyed, they found shelter in refugee camps. Now, in their own state, they have to prove they're Indian to go back. They have to prove they have land to go back. Why can't they just go back to the villages they came from? And
they can go. Now they're coming.
Well, they're not coming.
2,40,000 has already. You see, not that. Only certain question there. You see, already more than 2,40,000 has left there.
But why are you permitting the Bodo Territorial Council to lay down this condition before they can go back? People say this shows complicity.
You see, for their own, they are insisting. Because we want to take them into confidence. Because the land is there. You see, land is not with my authority.
So you're doing this for the safety of the Muslims, not because you're under pressure from the Bodos?
No. Because the land belongs, the administration belongs to them.
Let me give you one final reason why people suspect that in fact you're siding with the Bodos.
Yes.
And that's a very simple reason. Yeah. The disarmament of the Bodos, which was envisaged by the 2003 Bodo Accord, 9 years later still hasn't happened. And people can't understand why, because you've been Chief Minister right through that time. And once again they say, the reason it hasn't happened is because Tarun Gogoi is soft and gentle towards the Bodos.
There is no question of, even those also who have come for talks, everybody is having arms. Even Assam.
But why have you not succeeded in removing these arms? Why haven't you succeeded in disarming people?
I'll tell you. You see why. I'm not talking about Bodus. For example, Alpha they have come, NDF they have come, so many KLF, so many groups have came to our talks.
And they all have arms. So why have you...
Minimum, I tell you.
Why have you failed to disarm people?
I will tell you. You see why. There is a government of India also. Armies are there. Why? Counterinsurgencies, they can do anything. Why they have not done? You see, it's not as easy as it appears to be. For example, I'll give you this. It's a lot of people that don't know. You see, when they come for a talk, sometimes we also know they don't disclose the correct picture of the arms they are having. Sometimes they give. That question was raised by...
You mean they are hoodwinking the government?
To some extent. I'll tell you. How? And for our own interest, I'll tell you. That was the raised by the ones, Sidambaram also. For one group, not Bodo groups before. I say, we know this group. I say, suppose they surrender 80%. I know. This is my argument. Suppose in a group, even in, I know about the North Kachar one group, almost all groups I did. I say, suppose they surrender 80%, 20% they leave it. That means we weaken them 80%.
But 20% remain, and that 20% was used by the Bodos when they were, in some instances, butchering Muslims. Just look at the figures.
That don't justify.
Just look at the figures. Of the 96 killed, 70 were Muslim. Of the 4.5 lakh made homeless, the vast majority were Muslim.
You see, why army also has not been able to do it? All right. You see, why even army?
Let me do one thing.
It's
You raise a fundamental question about the
It's a-
army.
it's a
Let's take a break. I want to come back and ask you precisely that. Why was it that the army wasn't able to more swiftly and more effectively control the situation? And to what extent does personal responsibility lie with you?
Yeah.
Because you've been in power for 11 years. That's in a
Yes.
moment's time.
Okay.
See you after the break. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an exclusive interview with the Chief Minister of Assam, Tarun Gogoi. Chief Minister, we ended part one with your raising this critical question about the army. Let me put that to you. Why is it that the army was unable to more effectively control the situation? After all, there was a 4-day gap between your calling the army and their deployment.
Yeah.
And during that period, the situation sharply deteriorated.
I'll tell you why. I don't say the army alone. I'm also responsible. I'm a head of a state. Definitely I'm responsible. So there's a responsibility of the army, Assam police and CRP. It is a combination of all we call a united command, unified command.
So was there an absence of clear-cut division and authority?
No, it's normally we've got the best of relation. That's why we have been able to contain, sustain. Our unified command structure
this time
is
around,
the best in the whole country.
But if it is the best in the whole country, then why was the 4-day delay there?
Delay, they changed the procedure.
Who changed the procedure?
Ministry of Home or Ministry of Defense.
So the responsibility for the delay lies with the Ministry of Defense?
Because of change of procedure. Now they have decided. It is a change of procedure has delayed the whole process.
But as a result of a change of procedure, which is purely a bureaucratic thing,
Yes. Then
4 days were
also
lost and lives were lost.
Yes, the defense minister, he himself admitted. Defense ministers, he already admitted.
Did the defense minister also extend an apology to the people of Assam? Because as a result of a 4-day delay, lives were lost, homes were lost, villages were burnt.
I don't say, because the procedural sales sometimes. Even for example, I'll tell you. You see, that time my force was less. Why? Because the Assam situation was improving. Normally, Assam Central Reserve Force about 130,
And so they
140.
had withdrawn forces from Assam.
Assam, 90, it reduced to 90. I was telling all of
But was that an irresponsible thing for them to do?
No,
because they took a risk.
No, I don't say. Because there was a lot of pressure for the Naxalites and other left-wing. So I do understand their pressure.
So they took their eye off Assam. Isn't that the case? They became a little complacent because you'd had 3 good years and they took their eye off the state.
No, they say situation improved. We need urgent need of this.
But they forgot that Assam breaks into violence periodically every 3
No, I was
4
telling them.
years.
I was also telling them. I don't blame
You
them.
were saying this to them, and yet
Yes.
they overrode you. They overruled you.
They say, no, it is not possible for them also. Not that I didn't take it up. But I don't blame them because of the, you see, I know the under what
You may not blame them, but they disregarded the advice of a chief minister who of 11 years standing.
No, I don't say disregard. I know they're
They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to you.
No, sometimes how they cannot comment. Otherwise, they are very nice to me. They are very cooperative to me.
Can I put it like
government,
this?
I say, then I'll tell you so. Then to rush back, it takes more than 7 hours.
That's right.
Unless you keep it a reserve force.
So they made 2 mistakes. First, they became complacent because there'd been no trouble for 3 years, and they disregarded the advice of the chief minister. Then they wasted time coming back, and all of this was compounded by the fact that they changed procedures, so bureaucratic delay also compounded the situation.
You see, this is of this change of circumstances. Because of the, after Ajudhya, because they say it's such a...
My last question to you, Chief Minister. You've been Chief Minister of Assam for 11 years.
Yeah.
For most of that time, you've been Home Minister yourself.
Yeah.
You've been head of the Unified Command. You boast it is the best Unified Command in the country. How much of the responsibility for failing to effectively tackle the trouble lies with you? After all, you had the power and the experience to anticipate trouble would happen. You have the power and the experience to speed up rehabilitation. Neither was done.
Today I am not the head of the Unified Command. Head of the Unified Command is a chief secretary.
But you were for a very long time.
No, for a small
But
period.
how much of the responsibility for the delay?
No, I take 100%
is yours?
responsibility.
You do?
Yes.
So if things have gone wrong, the blame is yours.
Yes. As a chief minister, I take 100% responsibility.
So when the critics say Tarun Gogoi is responsible, you say, yes, they're right.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Chief Minister, those are brave words. Let's hope they don't go against you.
Thank you. I never go again.
A pleasure to...
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.